I really think that Pan That Palette is my favourite project pan to update, especially when we have incredible progress, which we do indeed have today. I'm so excited about this palette and about this progress, which is such a nice change from last year. If you were here last year, you will know that I was panning the Modern Renaissance and I just had no progress every single month because I was hate panning that thing. I really did not want to be using it every single day, but this palette I've been absolutely loving. I have been using this happily pretty much every single day, and I am so excited to share this progress with you guys. I do indeed have one new pan in this, which is so exciting. I've had really good updates every single update for this, so that's amazing as well. But just before we do jump into the progress and into the video today, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe. I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup, as you can tell today. This palette may just look like the normal That's Taupe. However, I have put 3 shade from the Blue Moon in here as well. So it is kind of like mostly neutral, but with a pop of blue, because blue is my happy colour. I say this all the time. I absolutely love blue on me. Like I'm feeling good today because I just love blue. So even though it is a kind of neutral palette, I do have some pops of colour, I do have some challenges, and I'm super excited to share them with you guys today. So I'll go through this palette, the changes, my goals, some looks as always for this month, and I'm just gonna have a jolly old time. So as always, to start this video off, I will show you guys what we looked like last month. This was what the palette was looking like. We had hit quite a few pans in this last month, and I was really excited because even though we're still at the start of the year, this palette is looking really used and well loved. I'd hit pan on the shade Lumi, Pebble Beach, Constrictor and Bedrock in this palette, and I was working on expanding those pans, of course, and also hitting pan on new shades. So my goal for this past month was to hit pan on Snake Eyes, which is the middle shimmer shade, and also to use Cold Blooded, aka Starry Eyes, which is the blue, light blue matte, 10 times. They were my main goals. This is what we are looking like today. You can see we've definitely hit pan in that middle shade. We've also expanded the pan in Pebble Beach so much. I'm so excited about this progress, and this is really giving me so much motivation to continue working on this palette, to continue getting amazing use on this palette, and to hopefully finish a bunch of shades by the end of the year. Look at how good this looks. Are you kidding me? I'm absolutely loving it, especially this shade here. This is incredible. I'm so happy. I am wearing 2 of these shades today, so these 2, the shade Lumi, which is in the shade Spot of Python, and also Bedrock, which is actually Clued In, to make this really nice look. I'm actually wearing a Pan Loose eyeshadow shade as well, but I'll get further into the looks and kind of deep diving into what I've been doing with this palette later on in the video. So, Boa still has no pan. How? I don't know. I have used this to set my eye primer every single time I have done my makeup this month. I have used it 19 times for a total of 107 uses in the project. How? 100 uses and we still have no pan. That is absolute madness. I've said before, this is such a firmly pressed shade. I dip in and pretty much nothing comes up. It is so difficult to get any visual progress, but if I kind of tilt the palette here, maybe you can see we do have a really big dip in this. So I'm hoping that in the next few months, maybe we'll be able to have pan on it. I'm really hoping so anyway, because oh my goodness, this is taking so long. This is really worrying me because over 100 uses and we've only got a little bit of a dip in it. It's concerning. It's concerning to me, but that's okay. I'm going to keep using it. One of the good things about this shade is that you don't really need to incorporate it into a look because I am literally just setting my eye primer with it. It's nothing crazy, you know, it's nothing that I have to properly think about. It's just something that I automatically do every single day. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Hopefully we'll hit pan maybe in like 3 months maybe, which is just insane to say. But I'm really hoping that someday soon, hopefully we can have pan on this and hopefully maybe finish it this year. I'll be surprised if we end up finishing this year, even though I'm using it consistently, but we can all live in hope. We can all cross our fingers and hope for the best. Next, look at this. This is Pebble Beach, and this is a huge pan. I've expanded this so much. These two shades are like the opposite of each other. This is super firmly pressed. This is like so lightly pressed. It is almost dangerous. I feel scared traveling with this palette because this shade will smash in an instant. I dip my brush in and so much kick up comes up. I really don't understand these two shades, how they are so different. But this has been one of my focus shades this month. I'm really trying to finish this shade. I've used this 14 times this month for a total of 38 uses in the project. And as you can see, it is, I mean, it's nearly gone. And I'm so excited about that. I think maybe in like 2 more months, this could be gone, which would be incredible. I'm so unbelievably excited to have this done. This is definitely going to be the first empty in this palette. And I'm still undecided whether I want to leave it as an empty pan or if I want to roll in another eyeshadow from another Colourpop palette, because these palettes are magnetic and you can kind of switch around shades. Let me know down below, what would you do? Would you just leave it as a finished shade, or would you roll something else in its place? I don't know, give me your thoughts down below, but I'm so impressed with this. The product around the sides is really thin as well, so I'm so excited to see my progress next month. I'm going to keep using this as a focus shade until it is empty. We did have a little bit of a discussion a few months ago whether I should be focusing on Pebble Beach or the shade Rock Steady down here, which is a slightly more cool tone shade. But you guys did say, keep working on this until it is finished because it's such a kick-uppy, powdery formula. Just get it out, so I'm not scared of traveling with it anymore, so I'm not scared of knocking this palette. If it's out, I don't have that fear anymore. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really focusing on this one rather than this one right now. Next, we have the shade Lumi, which is in the space of Python. This is a really pretty white to blue iridescent shade. We actually hit pan on this last month, and I am wearing it on my inner corners today. I've used this 5 times for a total of 24 uses in the project. It's kind of hard to see the pan because it is such a light shade, but I hope you can see we've expanded it a little bit. This is just a really nice shade to incorporate in the inner corner. If I'm doing a neutral look and just want a bit of a pop, I will pop this on the inner corner, or a look like this where I am incorporating these blues, I will of course use this on the inner corner as well. I really love this shade. It's a subtle way of incorporating colour, which I really love. It can go with any look. I will say I have been using my Pan That Face Palette highlighter, which is my Ofra Glazed Donut. I have been using that as an inner corner when I do my more neutral looks, so this hasn't been used as much as I would have thought, but it still had 5 uses and we have hit pan on it, so I'm pretty happy about that. Next, we have the shade Slated. This has only been used 1 time this month because I have been so focused on snake eyes. This is a lighter shimmer and it's more of like a super shock, like super intense shimmery kind of shade, but I do like it, but I also know why it's been neglected. So I always say, if I know the reason why, I'm not too upset about neglecting things. It's a really nice shade, but it's just not something that I've been focusing on this month, unfortunately. Maybe next month I'll try and use it a lot more, because if we move on to Snake Eyes, you can see I have finally hit pan on this shade and I'm so excited about it. Another pan. How exciting is that? So I've used this 11 times this month for a total of 40 uses in the project. This has been part of my everyday makeup look that I've been absolutely loving. I've said before, I'm shocked at how much I'm still loving my everyday makeup look, because I do the same look all the time. I start with this shade, Bedrock, which is actually in the spot of Constrictor, but I start with this on the outer corner, I blend it out with Pebble Beach, and then I put Snake Eyes all over the lid, and I've just been loving it so much. I'm not bored of it at all. It's the look that I use to teach, it's the look that I use to go to the office, and I've just been really liking it. I love how I look in those shades, and I'm just really excited to keep using it and to keep doing that look, because I'm just really enjoying it. I've never found a look that I can redo so many times and still be happy with. But this is just a really nice neutral shimmer shade. Who am I raving about neutrals? I know I'm betraying everyone right now, but I'm really, really in love with this. This row in particular is just such a staple row for an everyday neutral look, and I'm so happy that I have hit pan in this. Hopefully I can expand the pan and even finish this by the end of the year. I have faith that I will be able to finish this. No doubt about it. Because even though I've been using this with Pebble Beach, I know that this shade also goes really well with Rock Steady. So as soon as Pebble Beach is finished, I will be moving on to Rock Steady and be doing the same kind of look, but with this trio here instead of this line. So I'm really excited for that. I'm going to keep going, keep using it, keep loving it, and hopefully have it finished. So this shade, Starry Eyes, this is from the Blue Moon, of course. My goal this month was to use it 10 times. I've actually only used it 5 times, which is half of the goal. Not the best. However, I've used it 5 times, which is pretty good. I do definitely have a bit of a dip going in this shade. It's not much at all. It's not like anything crazy, but I'm definitely getting a little bit of use on it, which is great. I have said before, with these blues, if I don't finish them by the end of the year, that's fine, but I would like to at least have pan on all 3. And I mean, Lumi and Clued In already have pans in them, so I only have 1 more to go. I have been doing a look with this that I actually really, really like, and I will show you that later on. And it is kind of like a neutral-ish, kind of everyday for me look. So I'm really comfortable using this shade in that look a lot and kind of redoing that look a lot when maybe I'm teaching, maybe when I'm in the office as well, like just kind of everyday but still colourful kind of looks. I don't know. I'm yet to do a colourful look when teaching. I only ever do this line when I'm teaching. So I need to like start adding a little bit of colour, seeing if I'm kind of allowed to be doing that. I don't know, test the rules a little bit, you know. But I really do like this shade. It's just finding ways to incorporate it and trying to find ways to consistently use it. But 5 uses for a total of 11 uses in the project this year. I think that's still pretty good going. Okay, Rock Steady. I've only used this 1 time this month. Again, that is because I've been working so hard on this shade, Pebble Beach. Again, like I said before, as long as I know the reason why I'm neglecting it, I'm pretty fine. Like, I know that as soon as Pebble Beach is gone, I will be going to use this a hell of a lot more. I am a bit scared of this shade because this reminds me a lot of Boa because it is very firmly pressed. I don't think it's quite as firmly pressed as Boa, so hopefully we'll be able to get some good visual progress, but I'm a little bit scared that once Pebble Beach goes, I'm just going to be stuck trying to use this forever and ever and ever, and I'm really, really hoping that we are able to hit pan on it somewhat quickly, but I've used this 23 times in the project as a whole. So, I mean, 23 uses, we've not really got any kind of dip in it, but I don't know, I'm crossing my fingers and I'm hoping that it's not going to be as bad as Boa. I'm hoping. Next we have Constrictor, or Bedrock as it is actually called. This is the shade I use in my brows every single day, and I have been using this on the outer corner of looks as well. I've used this 19 times this month for a total of 114 uses in the project. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see too much pan expansion because obviously the brush that I use in my brows is super duper tiny. Like, this is my brow brush, so I'm not using loads of product when I use this shade. And also when I use it in my outer corner, this is the brush that I'm using, which like isn't small, but I mean, you know, it's not really going to pick up too much. It is very, very pigmented as well, so I can't really like build it up. I've kind of got pigment and I don't really need to keep building it. So this is one that I'm slightly scared about, just because even though we have pan, the pan expansion is going very, very slowly, but it's one of those shades that like I know I can use without really thinking about it. I know I'm getting use on it. It's just about how much use I manage to get. I'm not too scared of this just yet. Maybe when I get towards the end of the year, if I'm still not seeing much progress, then I'll get a little bit more scared. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with this progress. It's not incredible. I've expanded it a tiny bit, but that's fine. And finally, the shade Clued In, aka Bedrock, as it is in this space, is the shade that I'm wearing on my outer corners today. I've only used this one time this month, which is in this look, for a total of 6 uses in the project. Not great. Not great. However, I'm not too mad. I'm definitely giving myself a little bit of leniency when it comes to these blues because I do know that they are a lot harder to use. However, I would like to start really working on them more actively at this point. I've kind of been loving this neutral section, which is crazy for me to say, I know, but I do want to start kind of incorporating these shades, even if it's just like a liner with this shade. If I do like a super neutral look and then a liner, something like that would be amazing for me to do just to get some uses on these shades. But this is what the palette is looking like this month, and I'm really, really excited. So let's talk about weight. I'm really excited about this as well, you guys. Like, this is so exciting. Let me move my notebook so I can actually see it. So last month, this weighed 91.46 grams, and this month it weighs 90.89 grams, meaning in the past month we have lost 0.57 grams of this, which is a lot of product. That's a lot. That is half a gram, over half a gram. And I think each of these shades is a gram. So we've used half an eyeshadow just this month, which is mental. Over half an eyeshadow just this month. I'm really, really happy with that progress. So that means since the start of this year, I have used 1.45 grams of this palette, which is nearly 3 whole eyeshadows. That is mental. That is so exciting. I'm so buzzing about that. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying my absolute best to use this all the time, to get use on this, and to just like laser focus. These kind of progress months really make me so happy. Again, especially considering Modern Renaissance was such a fail. Every single time I'd come on camera with Modern Renaissance, my heart would sink a little bit. But with this, I'm so excited and I cannot wait to come on every single month and share with you my progress because, like, look at this palette. It's so amazing. So now I'm going to talk about some looks that I've been doing this month. So this look, I've kind of spoken about it before, so I'll be quick, is this shade Clued In on the outer corner. I have then used a Pan Those Eyeshadows shade from my Norvina Volume 6 palette. This shade C2 was rolled in last month, and this is what I used. I really love these two shades together because it's blue, but it's still kind of like periwinkly. It's not quite purple, but I really, really love these two together. So hopefully I can use these two together a lot more. That is what is my kind of transition shade today. Then on my lid is actually a shade in my Project 10 uses, and it is this purple eyeshadow shade here. What is this called? I always forget. It's called Cosmic Dream. And that is what is all over the lid today. This has gone really, really nicely with both of those shades. And then on the inner corner, I have the shade Lumi here. Now, the kind of everyday look that I've been doing recently, I did actually do a get ready with me doing my kind of everyday makeup look. So it is my very, very neutral crease to start. So I start with Pebble Beach, which is this shade. I put that all throughout the crease, all on the lower lash line. I deepen out the outer corner with the shade Bedrock, which is this deep brown, just on the outer corner there. Then I have put Cold Blooded, aka Starry Eyes, all over the lid and sometimes also on the lower lash line, just to really build up that pigment and get some blue, some, fun blue on my eyes. I've really, really been loving that. Sometimes I've been topping it off with some more like iridescent sparkly shades, or sometimes I have just been leaving it how it is. And then I've been putting Lumi on the inner corner. And this is my kind of like fun everyday look. Of course, all of these looks started with Boa to set my eye primer. Goes without saying. I've really been loving this because I feel confident enough to go outside and out and about and into my office job and all that kind of stuff with that kind of shade on the lid. It's not too much. It's fun, but it's not too much to the point where I'm self-conscious. So I've really, really been loving that look. And then of course, my just everyday kind of teaching look is Pebble Beach all through the crease and the lid. then the shade Bedrock on the outer corner, and then Snake Eyes all over the lid with either Lumi or my glazed donut on the inner corner. So they're the 3 looks that I've got to talk about today. I'm really comfortable just continuing on with this look, the very, very basic look. But let's talk about some goals for the next month. I don't think we'll have pan on boa. I really don't think so. I think that's going to take quite a while. So I'm not going to do that. Maybe next month might be a little bit of a boring month because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish Pebble Beach either. I could try. I know that that was a goal, a possible goal this month, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. Maybe, I doubt it, but it's kind of up in the air right now. I think just continue to work on it. I don't think I want to set a specific goal because I don't think I'm close to pan on anything else. I think I am going to say 10 uses on this blue shade again as well. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to use it 10 uses, but I have recently rolled in Ice Dream into my project 10 uses, which goes really, really well with this, and I can mix and match it with a few things, and I'm really excited to do that. So yeah, 10 uses on Cold Blooded, and just kind of keep going with it, really. That's the kind of official goals for this month. I hope I can hit pan on boa at some point soon, and I hope I can finish the shade Pebble Beach very, very soon. They're my kind of short-term goals, but I don't know if it's going to be this month. I highly, highly doubt it. So what do you think of this update today, guys? I'm really, really excited to keep going and to keep using this. It makes me smile so much. Let me know, can you guys see a difference in my updates between this and Modern Renaissance? It'd be really interesting to see your thoughts from a viewer's perspective, so let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. How are you doing with your Pan That palette? If you are doing a Pan That palette this year, if you're not, that is absolutely fine. Just let me know what your thoughts are for this palette. And with that being said, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye.